Welcome to another episode of About Time with Michael, guys. Today I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to change it around. I'm going to give you something that everybody wants to see. We're going to move away from the Rolex brand for a little bit, and we're going to deep dive into something really cool, something very special, something that's very sought after in today's market. And we're talking about one brand only, one brand that probably means haute horology at its absolute finest, and we're talking about the brand Patek Philippe today. I've brought along some special pieces to show you guys. I'm going to show them off individually in sort of 4 different episodes, but today I thought I would start with probably the 5711R. The reason why I wanted to start with the 5711R is because I think it's probably the watch that the Nautilus that sort of really kicked this sort of hype of watches off, especially, you know, sort of about 7-8 years ago. This was the watch that just went absolutely crazy for everybody. I brought along a absolutely stunning brown chocolate dial rose gold one. It's practically new old stock. It's absolutely beautiful. It does have some marks here and there from, you know, wearing it once or twice, but overall it is new. I want to get this under the camera for you. For all of you guys who are just sick of seeing Rolex and Omega and the usual brands, I want to see something a little bit more special. This is it. So get excited. There's something about this watch, just holding it in your hand, you just feel rich. You feel like it puts all other watches to shame. So Patek, well done. I don't know how you did it. The way you made this bracelet so soft and curved, the way you finished the case, the way you finished the bracelet, the difference between the polishing and the brush finish on the case. Gerald Genta, I mean, if the story is true, mate, and you designed this on a napkin while you're having a cup of coffee, well, you're an absolute legend, mate. So I'm going to show you what this watch looks like. You know, this is the same guy that designed the Audemars Piguet, and he also designed the IWC Engineer. So there is a similar flavor that he works through when he's obviously designing his watches, and you can see that they're all quite nautical. But have a look at this. I'm going to pop it under the camera now so you guys can see what I'm talking about. This is probably going to show up as one of the nicest watches I've had on the show. Damn. That is just absolutely gorgeous to see. Have a look at the case. So Nautilus debuted in 1976. For those of you who didn't know, the 5711 was introduced. The Nautilus debuted in 1976, but the 5711 was introduced in 2006. It was sort of like a 30th anniversary. It has the rounded, as you can see just here, the rounded bezel. We'll call it the octagonal bezel, which it is. It's a porthole-inspired bezel that Gerald Genta, you know, sort of went with. That's how the story goes. It uses a caliber 324 SC, so it's an ultra-thin automatic with a 21 karat gold rotor in there, and it uses Patek's favorite Spiromax balance spring, which is in there that, you know, sort of regulates it quite well. At the launch of the 5711, when it was first launched, the watches were commanding prices of what every other brand was selling gold watches for. So that was revolutionary for the industry. To see a stainless steel watch come out from Patek Philippe that costs the same as a Rolex, you know, day date of its time, I mean, that's just insane. People were going, what the hell are you talking about? But nowadays, in our economy and sort of the luxury watch industry, it's just accepted that a stainless steel, you know, 5711 is worth double that of a solid gold Rolex day date, or a, you know, solid gold Omega Speedmaster, or, you know, Breguet, whatever it is. And that's because of the brand, the marketing of the brand. There's only one company that tells you that the watch isn't yours, but you're merely holding on to it for the next generation, and that's Patek Philippe. Nobody else says that or does that, and that's what's so special about this brand. This watch, I think, works extremely well with a suit. But if you were, you know, like my mate Jay Woodruff there, you could rock a tracksuit and some shorts, and you could wear this absolutely anywhere. Get out of your GT3 RS in your pajamas, walk into any restaurant and just look like an absolute king. So that's what this watch does. It lifts the game. It makes you feel special. It tells everybody else that you're not mucking around. And that's why they've designed it, and that's why they've made it as it is, and that's the hype behind this watch. Look at that, look at that movement. Just have a look at the quality of the bracelet. You have a tapered bracelet that goes all the way down into a sort of butterfly clasp here. This one's still got some stickers on it. As I said, it's pretty much new. So fold over and clip, and then clip. So that's what it looks like underneath the wrist, with the Patek logo there in a brush finish. I mean, that's a perfect bracelet. That sits really well. It's also very comfortable and secure with that little clasp that sort of holds the butterfly down. And to open it up, you just pop and then pull the other side like that there. That's how that's done there. I mean, you can understand why they're so comfortable. A lot of watches these days in certain brands aren't tapering their bracelets. That taper is pretty much perfect. It's not too much, but it's not straight. And I think that's what makes a watch comfortable, is that a slight taper, even just by 1 or 2 mil, will make that watch feel more comfortable on the wrist. So, you know, Thierry Stern, CEO of Patek Philippe, well done. I mean, you've, not you yourself, but your grandfather or whoever, decided to add this to the collection after Mr. Genta sort of drew it up. Well done. Look, something like this here in value, I think is going to be around between $180,000 to $220,000. I couldn't even tell you what the new price is on this. I think something like this new price might be 130 Australian dollars we're talking. These are certain pieces that everybody at the boutiques or the authorized dealers, want to sit down and talk to you about and pretend like one day you're going to get one, but you never will. And if you do, you're very lucky. So for me, this is one of the most iconic Patek Philippe's out there. I mean, this watch is really popular with celebrities. Jay-Z and all that sort of wore it. Beyonce, Mark Wahlberg. These are the other factors that sort of add to the hype of this watch. I mean, good luck walking into a Patek dealership and asking for a 5711R. It's just never going to happen unless you sort of, buy a lot of their other rubbish, go out there and they'll probably sell you some Chapards or some Hublots or something, just so that you can get on a waiting list. By the way, I don't recommend doing stuff like that, but yeah, have a crack at it. If it gets you what you want and you can give away some gifts in the meantime, do it. Back to this watch though, I think prices spiked about 30% once the rumors sort of started that they were doing a Tiffany dial limited edition, I think, which sold for like $16 million at auction. When that sort of started happening, the 5711 just went off the hinges, man. Everybody wanted this watch. It didn't matter what color it came in. And you could never buy the Tiffany blue. That was only really set aside for celebrities. So that sort of made, I think, the watch really increase in price and jump up. If I was to compare Patek to a car brand, I'd compare it to a Bugatti. I think it is. I know people are going to, probably shit on me for that, but it is the truth. They aren't a Ferrari or anything like that. It is a Bugatti. It is a special piece that you just can't get. And really, if you're wearing something like this, you got to have some money in the bank, because nobody's dropping $200,000 on a watch without some money in the bank. So, for me, that's what kind of watch it is. You're going to get out of your supercar, and you're going to rock a 5711. That's what you're going to do. The feel of this watch, the heft of this watch, has to be held in your hand or put on your wrist to really understand the weight. You know, as you guys have seen on the show, I've worn all sorts of watches. I've had every watch you can imagine, you know, behind the scenes. But when you put this on, this feels like nothing else. I can honestly say that. The way the clasp clips, the way it feels, the softness on the wrist, the way it sort of just moves around. I mean, it's bowler, man. It is so cool. And it fits spot on, right in the middle of the wrist as a sort of 40mm case. It is slim. If you look down the barrel, it is comfortable. It is fits under a shirt, rock it with a t-shirt. It feels good. For Patek Philippe, as soon as you mention 5711, this is the watch that everybody wants. This is the most famous in the brand. And the reason why I heard that they discontinued it was because it was taking away from every other model in the range. So Patek were getting a little bit upset that everybody's walking their dealerships and saying, hey, have you got a 5711 for sale? So they sort of had enough of that. They discontinued it to try and give some of the other sort of annual calendars and perpetual calendars and aquanauts and a few other things a sort of go to see how they would sell. And then they realized, oh shit, everybody just loves a 5711. So let's upgrade it and make a 5811. That's what they did. If you can try one on, if Patek will let you in their boutique anywhere in the world, jump in there, ask them to try on a 5811, or if you go to a pre-owned boutique and they've got a 5711 on, just ask them if you can just pop it on your wrist and just understand the feeling and the difference from all the other brands, because it is something that needs to be tried on to really appreciate. So if you have any questions or want to know any more about this particular watch, or even a 5711A, which is the steel version, just shoot us a message. We'll reply. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That always helps, because you're going to miss out on some of the other episodes that I'm going to do soon. But I will jump into some more complicated pieces from Patek. They are Nautiluses. I do have a complication here in an annual calendar, which I'm going to get to later. But yes, for those who are sort of starting out, want the most classic, iconic model from Patek Philippe, it is a 5711. This one's an R. Look for the stainless steel version with a blue dial in a 57A. But yeah, go out and try one on, guys. That's it. Enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll speak to you soon.